Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Collins!
The 1st of August, a wonderful Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo right here on ESPN 106.3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo with you. No Mike Rizzo on sabbatical up in Cleveland for a little vacation. We still got Christian Cat behind the glass at the City Place Studios. We are in West Palm Beach. A beautiful Friday afternoon here in South Florida. A hot Friday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a wonderful afternoon as we take you up next 2 hours right here on ESPN 106.3 on your radio dial. Also streaming live, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. You can catch us there. Some NFL news. We're not, grasping at straws this time around. Instead, we actually have a couple notable trade requests. Since the last time that we spoke, we have Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver of the Commanders. Is it really the NFL season? You know what tells you that it's the NFL season? That there's a disgruntled wide receiver somewhere in the NFL who wants out. Now you know that the NFL is really back. Now that you have a wide receiver who wants out and he's complaining about a contract situation. You know what else tells you that it's the NFL season? An edge rusher complaining that he wants out and he is done and he wants to be traded out. You saw that the last couple days with Terry McLaurin, who allegedly the Washington Commanders have no interest in moving. And then Micah Parsons took to social media a couple hours ago saying that he also wants out of the Dallas Cowboys after some disgruntled, weird reports. The contract situation there, either Micah Parsons wanted to hang around, he wants the contract, he was having conversations with the front office himself, didn't think that anything was set in stone. Then all of a sudden his agent got involved and the Cowboys didn't want to talk to the agent and you don't know what's going on and there's a disconnect. And now Micah Parsons wants out now that we're a week and a half into training camp. Bottom line takeaway, I'll start with Parsons, is the entire professional football league, the entire National Football League should be calling the Dallas Cowboys to see if he's really available. Because this is a Myles Garrett situation and he's just going to sign a big contract eventually, maybe. If I had to put money somewhere, I'd put money on that. But the fact that he has made himself available, maybe he doesn't want to be there anymore, period. Money talks. But if you're a team and middling playoff experience, non-playoff experience, you make that call and see if you could go get Micah Parsons. My personal opinion. Is he as good as Myles Garrett? No. But he's a little younger, and the upside is that you have to pay him a lot of money, but the upside truly is there. I would go get Micah Parsons tomorrow because he's just that much of a game breaker and that valuable to a potential NFL defense. This is a no-brainer in my opinion. Terry McLaurin, on the other hand, another initial reaction before we get to McLaurin, with all this disgruntledness, you don't know what's going on with McLaurin, and there's some disconnect there. There's disconnect with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones in the media every 5 seconds. Philadelphia Eagles are doing their thing. We know they're going to win their 13 games. You know what over I like now? They got a gauntlet of a schedule, New York Giants. Mm-hmm. You know who's the beneficiaries of this? You know who you haven't heard a word from all offseason? You usually hear stuff throughout training camp with the Giants being a mess. The New York Giants. Been very quiet over there. Been very quiet.
Thinking playoffs?
No. But if the over-under is, I believe it's 5.5 on Hard Rock Bet. I'm going to check right now. If it's 5.5, the fact I love capitalizing on other teams being disheveled, and the Giants can capitalize on this. You just got to split. They split and lose 2 to the Eagles, go 2-4 in the division. That win total looks a lot more doable, and they got a brutal schedule. I'm not sure if I do this, but it's 5.5. That's the number.
Yeah, skip that one. Instead, scroll a little bit further on Hard Rock Bet. Giants to reach the playoffs, plus 650. Lock it in.
Plus only 650? It should be plus 2,000 to make the postseason. Nope. Unbelievable. That's my initial takeaway. All right, Cowboys are maybe a mess. New coach. The Commanders, are they going to have a little bit of a sophomore slump? They got Deebo Samuel in there, but please, he's 30 years old. Terry McLaurin just came off a career year. and we're going to get rid of him? Now, I don't know if the Commanders actually will, but the fact that there's a disheveledness to each of these teams, you know who's the beneficiary? Brian Dable and company. I'm high on the Giants. They got the best defensive line in football. I don't know. I could see the vision there. And the first 2 games of the year, Commanders and Cowboys. They start 2-0, both road games. Sell me on the Giants. I'm with it.
Let roast cook.
Let's do it. And then they go, look at the schedule to start. I'm going to sell myself off this over-under total, 5.5. At Commanders, at Cowboys, home Chiefs, home Chargers, at Saints, home Eagles, at Broncos, at Eagles. They win. Right. Do they win? Are they favored in a single game there other than the Saints? And that's on the road.
Yeah, they might not be favored against the Saints
because they're on the road, and it's a Thursday night. It's a Thursday night game.
Ooh, that flight isn't that easy. No, yeah, the Giants will defy the odds, literally being underdogs in all their games throughout the season, but they will make a way to the playoffs. Believe you me.
Correction. They play the Saints on Sunday. They have a Thursday night game that Thursday against the Eagles. Even worse. Well, that's a throwaway game anyway. They might not be favored in a single game there in that first 8. But
so you think the NFC East is burning down?
Maybe. Is the NFC East? Hold on. Let's capitalize here. The Eagles are going to win their 13 games. We know this. All right. Have fun. But Brian Schottenheimer not being able to control Micah Parsons. I know he didn't play last year and they still were half decent. I don't know. But any team in the league, Christian, should call for Micah Parsons.
Yes.
This is sort of like the Myles Garrett situation where if he's available, at least see what the price is. At least see what the opportunity is. If you have to give up 2 first-round picks, are those 2 first-round picks going to be more valuable than what Micah Parsons would be tomorrow for your team if healthy? That's the bottom line. I'm a Jaguar fan. Jaguars should call them right now. Right now. The Chiefs should call him. I mean, like, the Eagles should hear him out. All these teams should make a call for Micah Parsons because he's a top player at his position, at a premium position. He's somebody who's only been in the league for 4 years, double-digit sacks each of the years. He's a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, perennial-type player. Go make the call. And he does a little bit of everything. Go make the call. I don't like what tells you that it's NFL season, though. This is the ultimate, the cloud above it. Nothing says NFL like a disgruntled edge rusher and a disgruntled wide receiver.
What do you think it is about this time of year where these guys are now say, hey, it's time to pay the piper?
Because all they do is waste time in the offseason, and the teams waste time, and they wait, and they're thinking, all right, we'll figure it out. Then the agents sort of blitz them at once because they got the leverage because training camp's in 2 weeks. They don't want the negotiations to happen in May unless there's really good faith on either side. If they're aiming for a price, Micah Parsons' camp thinks, let's wait. Let's see if Hendrickson gets signed. Let's see if Watt gets signed. Let's wait for these guys to get signed. You might get $10 million out of it. And we know the Cowboys are not going to spend money early because they never do. So they waited. And then finally, when there's a leverage situation on the player because the player doesn't show up to training camp, they could think, all right, well, now you can get an extra $10, $15 million out of this. Let's wait. And then now you get burned, and then it turns into a trade request. And then he might sign a contract in the 3rd preseason game and be rusty as hell going into that first game against the Eagles on opening night, by the way.
And you know what it is? All those quarterback deals happen early. These teams do not want to play with that position. Allen got paid a while ago. Even Aaron Rodgers got paid, and he is the extreme case of organization playing games, player playing games. But even that quarterback signed a month ago now. Take care of your quarterbacks, and then you can play games and try to do a chess match with everybody else, even if it is a top 5 position.
J.J. Watt was dead on. He tweeted this right when this news came out. He goes, take care of your best players early. Saves money, saves headaches. The longer you wait, the higher the price. That's it. I don't know how the Cowboys don't learn from themselves here, and I don't know how they haven't learned from everyone else in the league. Because everybody else who operates in good faith, they don't deal with this. The teams that wait for some odd reason on nonsense in the contract negotiations, whether it's guarantees or voiding deals, whatever it might be, the Bengals of the world and the Cowboys of the world, those are the teams that are the nightmares. Those are the teams that are impossible to deal with. The San Francisco 49ers always deal with this. Those are the teams that don't have a full strength second week of the training camp. I don't know how they don't learn from each other here. When you got teams that can figure out contracts right when the new league year starts, or in April, May, June, July, when they can figure it out before these players need to be in the building, and they don't have to worry about this, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You don't have to spend the money. There's $20 million in the differential in money just off of if this guy gets signed in May versus August.
Now, in Micah Parsons' Notes app tweet that he sent out describing the situation from his eyes.
It was like a retirement situation. Like, with 3 Notes apps. Oh, my God.
Could have fit in 2. You can adjust those font sizes, by the way, Micah. Just if you need some help, reach out. We are Penn State.
Okay.
But Micah Parsons did say he reached out and wanted to get a deal done before anybody else because, yes, even though his agent told him it might be best to wait until after Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby gets paid because you would be next in line and you get paid more than any of those guys. But Micah said, no, I don't want to play those games. I will risk leaving money on the table if it means I can have security in knowing that I am a Dallas Cowboy. And from Micah Parsons' words, the Cowboys went radio silent on him and did not make any effort to make that happen back in the early preseason, offseason, right after the season ended. I believe Micah.
I do believe Micah here because this is par for the course for Jerry Jones. Par for the course. Quote, this is from Micah Parsons' Twitter Notes app retelling of his perspective of the situation. So this is only his perspective. He said in March he met with Jerry Jones to talk about leadership. It turned into a contract, and he engaged in back and forth in regards to what I, as in Micah, wanted for my contract. At no point did I believe that this was supposed to be a formal negotiation, and I informed Mr. Jones afterward that my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. And then it goes from there, and then the agent told him that you should reach out to this guy. There's a logistics process back and forth, and then his agent starts having his own ideas about waiting and waiting and waiting. Nobody's on the same page. Nobody's on the same page. And now we're sitting here with the season in just about a month, and we're going to have to figure out what to do with this guy. I inevitably think, if I had to make a prediction, that the Cowboys are finally going to, they're going to balk, and they're going to give him his money, and it sounds like he wants to be with the Cowboys. He wants to be there. It's not like Myles Garrett who wants to be out to satisfy his career with a Super Bowl ring outside of Cleveland. It's not that situation. This is just, I can't get a contract done, so therefore I want to be gone. The second they give him that contract that gives him the highest paid or top 3 highest paid in the NFL outside of quarterbacks with good guaranteed money, he's going to sign it. But in the meantime, if you're another team in the National Football League, good or bad, you make calls. You make a call. Because Jerry Jones is stubborn enough that he might even make a deal. He thinks that the Cowboys brand and his ego is bigger than getting this guy secured long term. Now, he waited with Dak and he waited with CD, and there was murmurings about that and whether they'd move him or not. You're dealing with the same thing. Christian, your prediction today, he's going to be a Cowboy, September 6th when the first season starts?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think that someone's going to pony up an offer that Jerry Jones cannot refuse that will make it feel like the Cowboys won the dispute between he and Micah Parsons because they made out like bandits. One, they do not have to pay him anymore because you see how much cap space Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are already keeping up in that salary cap for the Dallas Cowboys. One more head that's a top premium position like Micah Parsons, it will deplete the rest of that roster.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay that, and how many first-round picks?
2 to 3 and a very high-impact player. I would say 2 and a high-impact player would get it done.
I think the Cowboys make a deal.
Yeah.
I think that they are not a Micah Parsons returning away from being a competitor, not only in the NFC, but a competitor in their own division. I think they are 3 or 4 impact players away from being a competitor in their division, let alone the NFC in general.
Would you be okay if the Ravens made a call?
I'd have to look at the financials because obviously you're not going to trade for Micah Parsons unless you have.
You're giving up a couple starters. You're giving up probably a starter or 2 and a lot of picks because the Ravens are not going to have a good first-round pick. The Cowboys know that, and therefore they'd ask for either more picks or another player.
I think the Ravens are okay.
Okay.
I don't think the Ravens need Micah Parsons right now. I don't think it would be worth it for them to get diminished returns on Micah Parsons. I think the odds are out there on if a trade does go through and where Micah Parsons would end up if it is not on the Dallas Cowboys. Who would you guess is the favorite?
I could see Jacksonville I truly can see Jacksonville making a move because Jacksonville has two. I'm not just saying that. They have two edges. They have Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen. They would give up one of them, and they'd probably give up 2 first-round picks. I could see that happening. I don't see any major contender in the NFC making a move. I think if they were going to ship him, they'd probably ship him out of conference. I think that would be probably the smart move. I don't think a team like the Packers or the Rams would make a call, but a team like Jacksonville, a team like Houston wouldn't because they just traded for a big-time edge rusher. So we could do through process of elimination here. I mean, maybe he's available on anybody's radar just because of how good he is. But if I'm thinking of teams that are probably closer to contending than not, that'd be the team he'd want to call for. I mean, Cincinnati's not calling. They don't have the money for him. The Chargers, you think they'd call? Is that if they let Bosa go and he went to Buffalo? I could see the Chargers making a call there.
So the Chargers are the third most likely team according to the odds out there. The Raiders are the favorites right now to land Micah Parsons if he does get traded.
Who's the second favorite?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
Whew, paying T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons. We got number 1 and we got number 2.
And just because Rodgers is cheap, you're going to spend $85 million on 2 edge rushers when they have a good defensive line? No.
And then
I'd be surprised by that.
Good call on the Chargers. They are third, followed by the Jets and Colts.
Wow, so no Jacksonville that high. I really think Jacksonville can make a move there.
Jacksonville was in that bottom tier. They're 40-1.
And they got that 30-year-old as the general manager. They're not afraid to make a move. He'll do that. He's got a little A.J. Preller in him from San Diego Padres. He'll make that happen. I don't know if I want him, but he'd make that happen.
But like you said, he is a very hot commodity if Micah Parsons effectively reached the open trade market.
And so here's the most fascinating thing of what Micah Parsons said in his official trade request that he released on Twitter. You can check it out on his Twitter page. He goes, to finish it off, quote, "Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. So I stayed quiet, and I finally made the tough decision that I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally." If this is true, and this is how the Cowboys operate, now they might shut him up with the money at some point because that's what happens. But that star in the helmet can't last with this good faith nonsense. When Jerry Jones is talking to the media every 5 seconds, going on 105.3, The Fan, and breaking down how Micah Parsons can't stay healthy and he could get hit by a bus. What type of good faith acting is this? I don't understand long term how this encourages players to come to the Cowboys, number one, and number two, how this even encourages Micah to show up. Not even like showing up in good faith like Trey Hendrickson. This is just, what is Micah supposed to do here? He wants out. He doesn't want to be there. Now, will the money shut him up? Probably. These guys are not stupid. Agents are not stupid. I don't know how, but multiple teams are going to call here. Now, the ball's in the Cowboys' court. They could think, can I get 2 or 3 first-round picks and a big player for him? Am I willing to do that? Or do we pay him tomorrow and be done with it? I think to Christian's point, if there's an offer on the table that they cannot refuse, that is when they would do it. Now, the question is, what would you give up for him? You're a fan of a team. What would you give up for Micah Parsons? Would you give up player 2 picks, player 3 picks, player 4 picks, 2 players, 3 picks? What would it take? 888-760-3776. Dolphin fan, a Giant fan, Jet fan, Charger fan. What would you give up to go get Micah Parsons? Let us know. 888-760-3776. I think I would give up Josh Hines-Allen. I'd give up a first-round pick, and I'd give up 2 seconds. If that doesn't do it, fine. We'll keep our guys. But that would be what I would give up because they already don't have a first-round pick at the Travis Hunter trade. But as a Jags fan, that's what I'll give up. 888-760-3776. Micah Parsons officially requested a trade. If you wanted to trade for him as a fan of a team, what would you give up in order to get him? Let us know. Christian Cat, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here. ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Want to get 30% stronger in just 8 weeks? Then GNC Ant Whey Bolic is your protein. From America's #1 protein powder brand for building strength, Ant Whey Bolic delivers ultra-pure, fast-digesting whey protein packed with 6.2 grams of leucine for faster gains in muscle growth and recovery. If you want more out of every workout, then settle for nothing less than a premium formula that's third-party tested for over 285 banned substances and proven to get you stronger, faster. Go to your local GNC for Whey Bolic and get ready for gains.
Here's Comedians and Sketchers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as Slip-Ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers Slip-Ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, Slip-Ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers Slip-Ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
The Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, because if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, fell off your bike, fell off your skateboard, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they're here to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes is one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for that free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Micah Parsons officially on the trading block. Terry McLaurin potentially, despite his request on the trading block. Commanders have no interest in trading him. We have no idea what the Cowboys are thinking here. But every team is going to be calling Dallas, and a handful of teams, especially teams that need to contend, are going to be calling the Washington Commanders there. Because you're thinking about leverage here. These guys want to get paid. The team that he's currently playing for, if he doesn't show up, all right, we need to recoup something. We don't want to pay him the money, or we need to recoup a couple draft picks. Now, Adam Schefter tweeted out that the comparison, I guess, for the Micah Parsons situation would be the Khalil Mack trade. And the Khalil Mack trade a couple years ago when he was traded from Oakland to the Chicago Bears, the Bears gave up 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, a 6th-round pick for Khalil Mack, a 2nd-round pick, and a conditional 5th. That was the asking price from Oakland to Chicago. Now, did it totally work out for Chicago? No. But in the time when it happened, when he was 27 years old, that was a home run get for the Chicago Bears, was getting Khalil Mack, who was one of the best edge rushers at his position at that age, at that time. So that's not, I think Micah Parsons would probably demand something a little higher than that.
He's a little younger.
He's 26. So I would say for arguably one of the best defensive players in the NFL, outside of Garrett, Watt, and Parsons, which are probably your 3, that would make sense. 2 first-rounders, probably a player or additional picks on top of that. Now, who's willing to give that up? If the Chargers are willing to give that up, that's a team that's sort of looking for that extra boost to get to that next level. Boy, do they need the help. They got Harbaugh sitting there. They got Herbert, who has not won a big game in his life. I think that would be my favorite now. Other than Jacksonville, of course, that's my bias aside. I would say the Chargers would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
Yeah, do you think an edge rusher can make a good team great?
That's it. Yes, perfect way to describe it. Edge rushers don't make bad teams good. They make good teams great. Quarterbacks can make bad teams good. Offensive lines make bad teams good. Defensive lines can make bad teams good. Wide receivers make good teams great. Edge rushers, yes, can make bad teams better, but good teams great. There's your value. Your value model, if you have a quarterback and offensive defensive line, you can turn from bad to good. If you want to become great, you figure out the bells and whistles of the edge rusher, the wide receiver, the elite corner. That's where you go. The great running back. Think Eagles, Saquon Barkley. That's how you become good to great. It's not how you become bad to good. Chargers are good. They've gotten from bad to good. They were enough of a playoff team, but they had terrible coaching. They finally got to good. Now it's time to become great. That's a perfect example.
Do you think this breakup at all, in any sense of the word, has teams have their second thoughts about Micah Parsons? It's been a little bit messy. He's got the podcast. He's got a big personality. Do you think that the off-the-field Micah Parsons at all lowers his value in terms of being that guy at that position?
I don't, because of the market he's probably going to warrant. That would make sense if he was sort of between a rock and a hard place and there was 1 or 2 teams on the line where they could sort of draw their own interest. But for a guy he's missed 4 games in his career, 5 games in his career in 4 years, that's pretty good. So this guy's been readily available, and he's been an elite talent at that. He's got 52 sacks in 4 years. The only person in NFL history outside of Reggie White, who is the sack leader in the NFL history, to have a dozen-plus sacks in his first 4 years. Wow.
I didn't know his numbers were that good. 52 sacks in 4 years, and he missed 4 to 5 games?
He missed 4 games last year. And before that, I believe the 2021 season was the year before the first year of the 17-game schedule, and he missed 1 game then. And he played 17-17.
Yeah, I'm partial to Micah Parsons. He's a Penn State Nittany Lion. I watched him get recruited. I watched him debut, and I watched him exit with one of the best single-game defensive lineman performances of all time when he just annihilated Memphis. So I'm a Micah Parsons guy, but even those numbers surprised me. And I am a Ravens fan. I wouldn't want the Ravens to pay that much for Micah Parsons, but any team is getting a baller if you can get your hands on him. Picks, what picks? Who cares?
What if you want to be great? What picks? All right, you see a window. All right, well, it's time to jump through it. There's a number of teams that are going to make that call. The Chargers make. I mean, I know we talked about the odds. The Chargers. I mean, if we're going to talk about interconference too, so Green Bay should pick up the phone. The Cowboys would never make a trade with Green Bay unless the Green Bay gave them a hauling offer. But Green Bay, a good team trying to be great. That's the type of team that makes that call. We said the Los Angeles Chargers. The Denver Broncos, I don't think need him because they have a great defense, period. And they have so many assets already allocated all over the field. But that would make a little bit of sense. Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously a good team trying to be great.
And if you want to know gauge the value and the respect that Micah Parsons get from within the NFL, look inside of his division. There's a offensive lineman for the Giants, Jermaine Eleminor. Mm-hmm. He quote tweets the Micah Parsons trade request tweet. So this is Micah Parsons saying, I want to be out of here. And the offensive lineman from the Giants from within the NFC East quotes it and says, hell yeah, bro, get your money in the AFC. No one wants to block Micah Parsons.
That's
Get him as far away from me as possible.
And everybody, the Eagles are sighing. Oh, thank God. We don't have to deal with that guy. Jeez, he's a pain. You know who's got the most cap space in the NFL? New England Patriots. Do they make a call? I could see that. Totally. Now, I don't know if they're too far away from being great. They don't want to give up that type of allocated assets early, but they got a rookie quarterback. They don't have to pay him for 3 more years. They got $60 million in cap space. And it's a team that might surprise some people in a bad division this year. I could see the New England Patriots making a call for him. I can.
Wait, they went through that weird situation with Matthew Judon last year?
Yes.
I forget what happened there.
Well, Judon, it was a contract negotiation, I believe. And there was like operating in bad faith.
Mm-hmm.
And they had something done. They didn't have something done. I'd have to go back and circle. But that makes a lot of sense to me. And that is a team that hasn't shown that they can be good, but if there's a worst to first possibility, I think New England Patriots would be somewhere near there.
Worst to first in the division?
The thing is, you got Buffalo there, but the rest of the division stinks. That Jet team stinks. That Jet team's not going to be any good. And the Miami Dolphins, they're not going to be any good either. Most likely, at least. I think that makes a lot of sense. They could give up. They could figure out a contract worth $30-something million a year tomorrow. They got a cheap-ish. And they made moves this offseason. Remember, they signed Milton Williams. They overpaid for Milton Williams, who was the guy who's the Super Bowl hero for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was going to stay. And all of a sudden, the Patriots gave him $100 million, and he left last second. That was 3 months ago. They paid him. But how many Patriot fans are really complaining if when they go get a franchise left tackle in the draft and Will Campbell, they already have a quarterback all set in Drake May, and then you get a franchise edge rusher in Micah Parsons? I think that makes a lot of sense.
And how this goes is like Micah's on his first rookie year, so it's not like he has any say in where he goes. Because you feel like if you're Micah Parsons, you want to win. Of course you do. And maybe there's a couple of teams out there that have a realistic chance of making a run this year and can pay him the money that he believes that he is owed, especially now that you throw the loyalty crap out the window. Because he was doing the hometown discount with the Cowboys.
Right.
There's no more hometown for Micah Parsons. And if there was a hometown for Micah Parsons, he's a Pennsylvania kid. He's an Eastern Pennsylvania kid. So that'd be the Eagles. But the Cowboys would never do anything of the sorts, and the Eagles couldn't afford him. So maybe you look across the state. That's why the Steelers are that high on the odds likelihood of landing Micah Parsons.
You think Jerry Jones cares that much about that? You think he can? I agree division. You think conference? You think he will play his cards close to chest because he doesn't want to send him interconference? I don't think he does. I think he'll do that for the Giants, and I think he'll do that for the Commanders and the Eagles. I don't think he'd do that elsewhere in the NFC.
No.
And out of the teams that have the money to spend, they have to figure it out here and there. And then there's a club option this year for Micah Parsons, so it would be offset. You could probably front load it. These teams can dance around it. But if you're a team that's good, trying to become great, you make that call. Packers have a little bit of money. Seahawks have a little bit of money. The Patriots have a lot of money. 49ers will never make that call, but they have money. For a 26-year-old that's probably in the prime of his career right now, right today, and you're trying to win some games, Micah Parsons make that call. Terry McLaurin, you want to talk to somebody else who's an Iron Man? Because Micah Parsons has only missed 5. That's a marvel in this day and age. Out of the 100 games that Terry McLaurin's teams have been involved in, he hasn't missed a game in 4 years, number one, and he's missed 3 games outside of that. So this is somebody who plays every game. He's missed 3 games in 6 years. That's Terry McLaurin.
And he's been the number one target there. He's been going against opposing defenses' best his entire time in D.C.
100%.
Who's been the best number 2 that they've had? He hasn't played a game with Deebo Samuel yet.
Yeah, he had Diami Brown last year who just went to Jacksonville. So that was who they had. He had 130 targets, 130, 120, 130, and then 117. And last year he had a career year with double-digit touchdowns for the first time. That's another person you make a call for. Is he great? No. I don't know if he wants world-breaking money. He probably does. But that is somebody, in my opinion, who you make a call for if he wants out. Because he plays every single game. He's 29 years old. His career is going to be done by the time he's done with this, whatever he wants, and he wants to be out. But Terry McLaurin is somebody you can make a call for a good team trying to be great. That's Christian Cat, Colin Russo, Khalil Mack, and Terry McLaurin. The best fitting spots for either of them now that they're potentially on the trading block. Go ahead.
Micah Parsons?
Micah Parsons. What did I say?
Khalil Mack?
Michael Parsons. Yeah. Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin on the trading block. Best landing spots for each of them. If I had to make a prediction right now, Micah Parsons' best landing spot would be the Chargers, but the one who could probably make it happen the best is the Patriots. And Terry McLaurin, they would never do it. Would the Ravens make a call? He has a little bit of he feels like a Ravens player.
The Ravens have been looking for a number 1 receiver.
And Zay Flowers is a good player. And Mark Andrews is a mess, because whether you think he's good or not, but that's another one that they can make that call. If they can give up a 2nd-round pick and get Terry McLaurin in there, 3rd-round pick, whatever he costs.
Yes, that would be a player that if I'm a Ravens fan, I would want. I wouldn't want the price of Micah Parsons, both in draft capital and the cap space he'll demand.
A receiver's not going to warrant that type of package, no.
No, especially because Terry McLaurin can look across the league, and the Ravens owe him nothing. Like, the Commanders might owe him something for the years, like you said, just dealing with it, being an Iron Man, dealing with really bad quarterback play until this year. The Ravens owe him nothing. So he'll get his market value, which will be a lot more affordable than making a big swing, top 10 of your position type guy.
Yep. So Terry McLaurin is under contract for this year, looking for a different contract. That's Christian Cat, Colin Russo, 888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Trade deadline, MLB has passed. In the 4 minutes that we ended the show yesterday at 5:56, before the 6 o'clock deadline yesterday, the Yankees made about 4 trades.
I called it.
Yeah.
I told you that we were going to have deals happen as soon as our hard out hit.
And 4 trades for the Yankees. The Yankees might have the best bullpen in baseball. They picked up Camilo Doval from the San Francisco Giants in a very team-friendly trade at the end of it. The Yankees might be a winner at the deadline, so you got to give them some credit. We break it down, the biggest winners and the biggest losers from the MLB trade deadline on the flip side. Stick around for it. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Don't just stand there. Everything you need to turn $1 into an epic win is in your hand. Hard Rock Bet. Bet it, parlay it, boost it, however you want to do it. From wherever you are to the moon. Bet anytime a line, prop, or parlay catches your eye. And withdraw cash when you want it. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is ESPN 1063, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Hey, you ready for a stress-free move? Choose Safebound Moving and Storage, Florida's #1 movers. With a solid reputation, we set the standard for excellence. Trust us for local, long-distance, commercial, or luxury moves. We offer over 200,000 square feet of secure storage. We handle everything, so you don't have to. Your possessions will be treated like our own, always in perfect condition. Visit safeboundmoving.com for a free quote. Safe with Safebound. Your move matters.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Colin Russo, Christian Cat with you. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter /X at ESPN West Palm. You get players requesting trades in the NFL, and you get the trade deadline that has officially passed in the MLB. If you're watching SportsCenter any of these past couple days, you see that SportsCenter's traveling around the world right now, traveling around the country, doing 50 states in 50 days, and today is Florida. ESPN brought ESPN 8, the Ocho, to ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex today. And Friday, August 1st, you could be on hand. You could see all the action across 11 seldom-seen sports. What I mean by this is they're showing off people playing dodgeball, pillow fighting, slippery stairs, and more. You could be on hand for a live edition of the Ocho Show and a special edition of SportsCenter as part of the ESPN SportsCenter's 50 states in 50 days. Go check out some exclusive Ocho merchandise. They're all free to attend for fans. You can see more to see the schedule at disneysports.com/Ocho. That's OCHO.
If you know somebody in the area, text them right now. Let them know. If you're in Orlando, go to Worldwide of Sports at ESPN. I'm watching it right now. Whatever bull shooter is, it's this dart competition. I'm watching that.
You don't know what the dart competition is? You're a darts guy.
Well, it's called bull shooter. So it's a different style of darts. But what really caught my interest and distracted me from my day job was Omega Ball.
Omega Ball. What is Omega Ball?
All right, so take soccer, right?
Yep.
What would make soccer better?
Goals.
3 teams instead of 2.
Oh, wow.
The field, it's circular. 3 goals, 3 teams. It's like a triple threat match in WWE.
There's 1 ball.
Yeah.
So you get 3 guys going after 1 ball?
3 teams going after 1 ball.
Right, but
and you can score a goal in either goal, either of your opponents, because it's 1v1v1.
Wow, what's even the strategy there?
I don't know, man. We saw
if you see an opening, take it, just run.
It was USA versus Spain versus quote world, which Spain and the USA are on the world, so I guess they just clumped a bunch of small countries together to get the world team. They couldn't
put together a third team. Nobody wanted to play.
No one in Uzbekistan wanted to play Omega Ball, so they paired them up with the Philippines. I don't really know, but it was pretty cool. Because you also get really angry about your other opponent if they're letting goals up, because it's allowing your third opponent to put points on the board.
Do we know what the score was?
You know, we got on the air as soon as it got hot and heavy.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so maybe we'll take a look at that at the break. I'm curious. Yeah, you're right. Because then if one team is up by 3, you're thinking, all right, we got to shut this or this team's up, or it's or up 1. We can't let this team score. And you're like telling the other team, hey, whatever you do, don't let them score. or something like that.
Yeah, and then also if one team's goalie stinks, you're like fighting with the other team in their box.
You're like telling the opposing coach, put a new goalie in. You're killing us too. Because if you give up goals to that team, we also suffer because we're down.
There was professional kickball. Well, I got to be honest. I'm going to call a spade. Not sure how professional that kickball was. We saw some slow people down the first baseline. Kickball was on the TV today. I'm so happy that Florida got ESPN The Ocho for 50 States of 50 Days. Yeah. Could have been something boring. But nope.
That's interesting. Omega Ball. That's the first I've ever heard of that. I'm going to have to tune into that somehow, some way. Tune in. MLB trade deadline has came and went and actually, you know what? I was a hater on the deadline 2 days ago. It was a pretty exciting deadline. The problem was it was the Phillies, it was the Mets, it was the Yankees, it was the Dodgers, it was the Padres. It was the usual suspects mostly. But a lot of teams made a lot of good moves, so I'm actually impressed. And, of course, we get off the air at 5:56, and all 7 trades happen in the remaining 4 minutes. But early winners, Christian, I'm going to go with one here. We talked about it a lot yesterday. I think San Diego Padres. Everybody wants this. They gave up 15 prospects yesterday, including their top prospect for Mason Miller. But what are the Padres doing right now? They're trying to win this year. They're trying to win this year, next year. They're trying to capitalize right now. Similar to the Phillies, they need to capitalize on what they have today, tomorrow, and this fall. So for that, if they think anything is worth for a franchise that's never won a title, anything is worth a World Series. Hey, the weird part is they already have a great bullpen, and they thought, the first big move we'll make is go get a big bullpen arm. But they got guys in the outfield. They got Ramon Laureano. They got Ryan O'Hearn from the Baltimore Orioles. They made some good moves. They got Nestor Cortez as another starter. They got J.P. Sears in the A's. They got depth now. That's a team that is, for a high price, a good winner at the deadline. Are we willing to say, and we were killing the Yankees yesterday at 4 o'clock and at 6 o'clock, I'm ready to say that they're a winner too.
Yeah, I didn't hate anything they did. I liked death by 1,000 paper cuts, but they're killing the competition with those paper cuts. Not a big splash, but when you add a bunch of little splashes, it just has an organizational pitching staff kind of overhaul in a way when it comes to the bullpen. I was very pleased with the Yankees did yesterday, and it came on the day they won a baseball game too. So that felt pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's very bizarre the way they did it. They didn't go for the big guy. They did sort of the Soto route again. They let the big guy walk, and they brought in we're going to recreate him in the aggregate, as Billy Beane once said in Moneyball. That's sort of what they're doing here. Well, hey, we don't have an elite closer. We're not going to spend the money for Mason Miller, but what we can do is have 3 capable closers, and maybe we could recreate Mason Miller in the aggregate. That's what they're thinking. And Devin Williams is a great closer, but he hasn't been super reliable this year. But they got Luke Weaver, they got Devin Williams, they got David Bednar, who they acquired from the Pirates. They got Camilo Duvall, who has closing experience. He's not as good as Taylor Rogers, who got traded to the Mets, but closing experience for the San Francisco Giants. They got 4 guys who could close a game for them now. And that's not considering Jake Bird, who they also got, and Fernando Cruz, who they already have, Tim Hill, who they already have. They got 7 bullpen arms that are deployable in the postseason. That's what killed teams when the Dodgers kept doing it. The Dodgers bullpen game, this game 2 of the World Series. Why? Because they had the arms. That's what the Yankees were trying to do. They're trying to build a little depth here. They didn't get Eugenio Suarez. They didn't get Johan Duran, but they recreated them in the aggregate, and I give them credit for that. Now, they didn't improve their hitting enough, but I'm willing to say that they are winners as well.
Well, that's the classic Brian Cashman. Our trade deadline will come when our injured guys come back. Like getting Aaron Judge at the trade deadline, it's a pretty big swing if you ask me.
Yeah, he's trying to spin it. Yeah, God.
It makes my skin crawl just uttering that false equivalency that he makes.
How about this? The Minnesota Twins, they have 26 guys on the roster. They traded away 10 of them yesterday. Carlos Correa, Yohan Duran, Griffin Jacks, Luis Varland, Danny Colomb, Harrison Bader, Willie Castro, Brock Stewart, Chris Paddock, and Ty France. Goodbye. And they were saved about $100 million in the process.
Wouldn't you think the Twins would be good if everyone was trying to trade for their guys?
Yes, but
if they've got
no.
if they've got 10
The
guys,
thing
the
is, they
teams
were
are willing to
dumping
give up
them for
assets
nothing.
for them.
You could say the same thing about the Pirates. How many guys would Pirates ship away? 7, 8 guys? That team stinks. You're right, though. The Twins have assets. They have a terrible team, and they're cheap. They don't have the money. They traded Carlos Correa for I don't have the pitcher's name off the top of my head, but it was a lackluster trade.
So the Twins are living in a trailer park, but they've got a really sick wave runner, and they've got an ATV, and they've got a trailer they can sell. It doesn't mean that they're rich. It means that they have things that people want.
They signed Carlos Correa in 2022 and have one playoff appearance to show for it. That's what the Carlos Correa experiment looked like. How about that? You know, it was also a big loser for me, and not to get too in the weeds about it, but the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox were supposed to be one of those big buyers to get a giant, big name guy, or a big first baseman, Yandy Diaz, something like that, O'Hearn. But they added Dustin May, and who they trade for Dustin May? They traded one of the great prospects that they got in the Devers trade. So they got this guy in the Devers trade when they traded him for no reason 6 weeks ago, and nobody expected it. And they traded one of those prospects to go get Dustin May, who is the 70th best pitcher in baseball. So I think that is a team. Craig Breslow was the GM of that team. They did a bad job. I think that was another team that could have made a splash, playing well at the right time. They got rid of Devers. They didn't trade Duran, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan of them.
Someone I liked a lot was what they did in Seattle. Like, there wasn't that many hitting that was traded, but the two bigger bats went to the Mariners.
And they got them for cheap. They're rentals, but they got them for cheap. Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez. They didn't give up a top 10 prospect. You know that?
Really?
And the San Diego Padres, they give up, I think, 6 of their top 10 prospects. So that there goes the show about the value of pitching versus hitting in baseball, number one. And number two, the Mariners capitalized on a weak market for the hitters and kept it at that. And they only got, I believe, one arm. But you're right. A cheap deadline for them and an immediate impact deadline. Because they got 4 guys. They got 2 guys now who got 40 homers.
You know, Josh Naylor's also a guy that you hate him if he's not on your team, but he feels like a very big locker room ad, dugout ad, where whenever I am going up against Josh Naylor, I'm a Yankees fan, so we played the Guardians a bunch in the postseason.
Right.
He's a thorn in the side. He really does really annoy you. Had a pitch to him, he fires with the dugout. That would be a really fun postseason ad.
Yeah, I agree. And it's somebody who had a tremendous year with Cleveland last year. What do you have, 30 homers? He hasn't been as good with Arizona, but a lot of times these hitters just need a change of scenery, and then they start lighting it up. I could see that happening with Josh Naylor. That team desperately needs offense consistently. They have the pitching. They have one playoff appearance since 2001. And the last time they went to the playoffs, I remember they took the World Series winning Astros to a good game 3, and then all of a sudden it fell apart. So I think the Mariners are just desperate for an opportunity. I really love their deadline as well. And then the thing is, do we give the A's credit? Yeah, we do give the A's credit. You know, everybody
got the biggest haul, didn't they?
They got the biggest haul. That's it. They got 5 prospects.
Like, you want to win something, it's either you get the best player or you get the biggest haul. You want one of those two. And especially when you know your place, and the A's know their place right now, they're realists.
Yeah, that's it. The Brewers did a handful of nothing. They got Andrew Vaughn a couple weeks ago, who's been, a big hot start, but they didn't do much at the deadline yesterday. Shocker. Consider me surprised that a cheap team, despite them playing well, are going to. We said this a couple weeks ago. They were going to do that regardless. But of the trade deadline, the biggest shock was, maybe I'm not too shocked, but Brian Cashman doing all that in the last 5 minutes. Good for him.
You think he had this paperwork ready to go and just sent
the
the
Yankees?
faxes all at the last second?
Yeah, Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees, is notorious for thinking he's smarter than everybody else in the room, number one. And number two, he loves to come up with a late move to give people a good taste in their mouths to finish off the deadline. He's not going to shoot early, but the last 30 minutes is where the Yankees are going to start making calls because finally the walls are starting to cave in a little bit. Got 7 arms. It's got to work. You had no Garrett Cole. You can't hit. You can't field.
You want to talk about in the aggregate? How about 6 innings of fresh bullpen arms instead of 6 innings of Garrett Cole?
That's it.
That's the aggregate for you.
And then they tried to trade Marcus Stroman, and then they ended up dropping Stroman today because they couldn't come up with a market for him. So he's out. He's out. He's gone. Goodbye.
People talking about going back to the Cubs for Stroman.
Ugh. Stroman stinks. He stinks. He was, oh, God, he's terrible. But I'm pleased with what the Yankees did. I thought they did a good job. I thought the Mets did a good job. I thought a lot of the big name teams did well. Dodgers are a little more quiet than I would have expected. Red Sox a little more quiet than I would have expected. But the New York teams did well. Houston did well. Seattle did really well. There were some good acquisitions there.
Honestly, as a baseball fan of a team that is not the Dodgers, I almost don't want someone in the NL to beat the Dodgers because that would motivate them to get even better and find their flaws.
The thing is, they won the World Series, and they went and signed Blake Snell. And then they went and signed.
So it's a lose-lose anyway?
Yeah,
like, doesn't matter?
They're going to spend the money regardless.
There's no complacency?
They got Roki Sasaki regardless. They won the World Series easily.
Because on one hand, I was like, all right, go Padres. Okay. You know, the big brother, the bully in your same state, take him down. Then I thought, wait a second.
Yeah, 100
then
miles
you have
south.
L.A. deciding we need to get better. It's like, no, hold on.
Hold on.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
hold on.
No,
Don't
you're
poke the bear.
fine.
Don't
You're
poke the bear.
okay.
Don't poke the bear. Now, the Phillies are an interesting one because the Phillies have an older Zach Wheeler. Aaron Nola's not young. Ranger Suarez is not young. And they went and got Johan Duran, probably for a cheaper deal comparatively. That's a team. So I want to talk about capitalizing on right now. Them and the Padres. The Phillies and the Padres now have a ton of pressure to get it all done this year or next because they don't have terrific farm systems to replace, and they also have aging stars that are playing well right now. Schwarber, how many more times is Kyle Schwarber going to do this? He's got 40 homers right now. How many times is Kyle Schwarber going to do this?
Those bats scare me, man. Come postseason, no one wants to line up against them 1 through 9.
Because they got a bunch of big game players. They really do. Bryce Harper's a big game player. Schwarber's a big game player. They're going to be dangerous. But to the same token, they're old. Old means desperate, and desperate means you're going to buy at the deadline. They didn't get 100 guys, but they got a prized closer. I think the Phillies did a halfway decent job as well. Halfway decent.
I feel like they can just outslug teams.
Everybody was annoyed at the Atlanta Braves for doing absolutely nothing. They didn't buy. They didn't sell. They basically just sat on their hands, and they're usually movers when it comes down to it. And then yesterday, they were the first team in the MLB history to score 8 in an inning and then turn around and give up 8 in that same inning.
Wait,
That's what they did last
the first ever?
The third ever.
Okay, yeah, the Yankees did the Angels once.
No,
The day game. Okay.
Yeah, it was the third ever. Did I say first ever? Yeah, it was the third ever that happened last night with the Braves and the Reds.
It's the first inning. The Yankees did the A's. I remember, or the Angels. I remember watching that game on TV.
Yeah, 8-8. So that's how the Braves responded, doing absolutely nothing at the deadline. They didn't buy, they didn't sell. They had assets to sell too. But for some reason, the Braves are thinking, we'll be healthy eventually. No. Got to start giving up at that pipe dream. Trade deadline, biggest winners, biggest losers. 888-760-3776. Who's your big winner? Who's your big loser? Miami's keeping Sandy Alcantara, and they're going to run it back with him for another couple years. So actually good for them. Held on to that arm. He had Yankee written all over him. Glad that didn't work out because what apparently happened is the Miami Marlins said, we want Spencer Jones, who's the Yankees' top prospect. And then that's when the report came out that the Yankees said, hey, we're not trading anybody for Spencer Jones for anybody unless his name is Paul Skeens. And that's where that came out. So good for the Miami to sticking to their guns. Hey, we don't need to trade him. We're still a halfway decent team. We're competing. Keep him around. That's question. Got Colin Russo, your biggest trade deadline winner and loser. 888-760-3776. We roll into the second hour, do a little 5 and 5 on a Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months, with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Call into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Second hour, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We got Christian Cat, Colin Russo, no Mike Rizzo on sabbatical on vacation this week, enjoying his time off. If you missed any of the first hour, you can listen back. Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Or you can listen to us live, ESPN 106.3. Streaming live, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. You can watch and see our pretty faces there as well. Christian Cat, our producer behind the glass today. Christian, you good today? What's going on? You ready for your road trip tomorrow?
I am not ready for the road trip. We did a bunch of packing.
Are you done with your packing? I'm a late packer. I wait to the last possible second.
Yes, we are pretty much doing that. We packed things into boxes or duffel bags.
You haven't loaded the cars?
No, because the clothes weren't ready yet. I wasn't going to half pack the car. Okay. I want to wait till I have everything that I know we're trying to fit in this car.
Are you going to be able to get things into the car before it gets dark out? No.
No.
So you're going to be doing it at night, and then you're going to get to bed, and then you're going to get up and immediately leave.
Yep, 5 a.m.
Wow.
Got to pack up the 2 dogs. That's what takes up space. The dogs. The dogs are going to take up the 2 back seats.
That's going to add a stop or two, by the way. I know you're anti-stop. That's going to add a stop or two.
No, it's not. They're fine. They're good every 4 hours. That's the gas tank. Gas tank gets you 4 hours on the road, and that should be everyone's human bladder, dog bladder, any cravings they might have.
All right. Be careful. I don't know. Are you bring the dog bowls in the car so you could feed them in the car? How does that work?
Great point.
You're gonna feed them
when they eat once a day. They'll eat in the hotel room.
Okay. You leave. You can feed it. I don't know if they'll be hungry at 4 a.m, but
no, yeah, they eat dinner. That's what my dogs eat. So we're good on that front. I think, they'll be lulled to sleep.
Okay.
Maybe melatonin.
You're gonna mix in melatonin with their dog food? Can you do that?
Yeah, melatonin, it's fine for dogs. You got to obviously give it a lesser of a dosage than you would humans.
They're going to sleep for a week. Yeah, if you give them the human dosage, right?
And the way my dog takes pills is that, she doesn't.
Yeah, you mix it in with food, right?
And she'll pick it out. So you got to it's really gruesome to watch.
Yeah, you got to
take their jaw.
And you put it at the back of their tongue, right?
Exactly. And you hold it shut. And it's ooh, I really wish I didn't do it this way. But
that's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah.
Even the peanut butter they'll spit that out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got a 5 a.m. wake-up call, and you haven't packed the car yet. That's going to be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is going to be really, really brutal. I've moved, and this isn't even moving myself, so it's kind of a half move. I'm kind of appreciative of this.
You're not bringing any of your stuff. And worst comes to worst, if anything ever gets forgotten, you could always it's not lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because packing up a whole apartment is really difficult because you also have to leave it in a good enough condition to get most amount of your security deposit back. Mm-hmm. And you got to drop off the keys. And you got to do this.
Well, you're moving out anyway, right?
At the end of August.
Okay, so you got a month.
So I can cut it in half, and hopefully I don't destroy the apartment in 31 days.
Okay.
That's kind of the goal for me, is to maybe only have to clean it once between now and then.
How about once a week? Sundays?
All right, define clean. I'll pick up the clutter.
Take out the trash?
Yes, I'll do that. That's a mandatory.
All right.
But, we're breaking out the Clorox in the bathroom. That's a bachelor pad.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to take the Febreze and spray it out.
I agree with that. It's not the Four Seasons, all right? If you want the Four Seasons, go to the Four Seasons.
The goal is to not have to clean the apartment that much.
You have to clean it before you leave.
But you know what? That's why I pay this freaking cleaning fee. Why am I paying a cleaning fee if I'm going to move out no matter what?
Do they charge you a flat fee, or are they going to nail you? That's how they nail you.
Oh, they're going to nail me whether or not I take any precaution, aren't they?
Probably. It's like an Airbnb. Airbnb does the same thing.
Oh, my goodness. Apparently, I wasn't old enough to really take advantage of Airbnb before the unnecessary charges and
in its heyday, when it first was the main competitor against hotels. And
it was half off of what a hotel would cost. And now it's just as expensive, if not more, because of the luxuries you get from having your own place to yourself.
Yeah, you got to bring your own stuff. You got to bring your own food. You got to clean it up properly. You got to make sure your leaves are nice and pristine, because they're going to charge you for the trash. They're going to charge you for a light bulb. They're going to find something wrong in the apartment and then blame you for it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Did I tell you about my fiasco that happened in State College when I went back for the first time since graduating?
For the Penn State SMU game.
Yes. My buddy booked an Airbnb in town for that playoff game. We booked this a long time ago when it looked like Penn State was going to have that game no matter what. And then we kind of held our breaths in the Big Ten championship game because that would oust them from there. But no, we did have a Penn State SMU home playoff game, booked the Airbnb, very excited. Nice Airbnb to share, so it's nice and affordable, like $100 a person for a night. My buddy's brother accidentally goes to the front door of this place where the Airbnb is actually the guest home. So he walks into this family's house when they're not there.
The owners of the Airbnb.
Yes, not the part that we're renting out.
Okay.
Walking into the owner's actual house. And their like Ring doorbell gets the notification. The cameras pick him up. He like walks around for 30 seconds, realizes he's in the wrong spot, turns around, leaves. Well, this person the Airbnb owner did not think that this was an innocent mistake. No harm, no foul.
Was he intoxicated?
No.
Wow. This is a dead sober reaction?
Dead sober, like 11 a.m.
Oh, my God. So what'd the owners do?
The owners took it up with like corporate Airbnb and were trying to fine us like $1,000.
You got to be kidding me.
For like trespassing.
Did
they
you fight
threatened
it?
legal action. I feel bad because I didn't book the Airbnb, so I didn't have true skin in the game.
It wasn't your problem.
But the entire night out at our college town, this is a joyous occasion. He is on the phone with a lawyer, with Airbnb, with the actual person themselves, trying to explain how harmless of a mistake this was. And it wasn't even him that made the mistake. It was his brother. So the guy that's causing this problem isn't the one that having to deal with it either.
Oh,
It's his brother.
God, what a nightmare. After watching, I mean, I guess he saw a win, but geez,
So-
not even a good game.
A whole lot of red tape. This guy dealt with it for months on end afterwards. Eventually got away with it.
Got
no
dropped.
issues
Got
out of
dropped,
it.
okay.
But it still just goes to show it's another microcosm of the Airbnb experience
Yeah.
nowadays in 2025.
I'm pro Airbnb because I haven't had a major horror story such as that.
Is it big overseas?
Yes, I'm hostile over Airbnb overseas almost every time, but Airbnb is big overseas. Yeah, a lot of people who want to avoid hostels will do Airbnbs. Usually, you don't have problems with it. Of the places I've stayed in Airbnbs around the world, I would say I did Rome. I did Mallorca, Spain. I stayed in a Spanish family's house once.
Okay.
In an apartment, and they just rented out their bedroom. So I could go, they said I could use the kitchen if I want to. I used the kitchen once. And I remember it was St. Patrick's Day of 2023. I was in Mallorca, Spain, solo traveling. And Mallorca, Spain, I stayed in the city. I did it wrong. You got to stay on the countryside a little bit and figure out a way but I got an Airbnb in the city of Palma. And it was late March. So this is, think Ibiza, but off season when it's not that nice. I mean, it was 70 degrees during the day, but it gets cold at night. It's not beach weather. So I'm sitting there, and my Spanish is moderately above adequate. I was like at day 9 in Spain. So by the time I got to day 9, I was much better at Spanish than day 1 in Spain because I was doing it for my spring break. I was living in Italy. I stayed with this family. It was this guy, his significant other, I want to say an 11 or 12-year-old, maybe a 13-year-old boy, and a dog in the apartment. That was it. So they let me up. They don't speak a lick of English, so that's a whole thing in and of itself. I had this bedroom. It was nice. There's no problem. I don't really care. And the NCAA tournament was on, and I was trying to find a place that had the games. You think a place in Mallorca, Spain, it was the first weekend of the tournament because it was when UConn won their tournament. I won the tournament the first time.
Big Seton Hall fan base
You think
Mallorca.
you think a bar in Mallorca, Spain has the round of 32 on a Saturday night of St. Patrick's Day weekend? So my thinking was St. Patrick's Day weekend, the only place that could possibly have American sports is probably an Irish pub. I went to an Irish pub. Lo and behold, they did not have the games. But they did have Wi-Fi, and I did have a VPN. So I was able to watch the games on my phone at the bar for St. Patrick's Day. Unfortunately, I'm paying attention to the games. I didn't get to enjoy the festivities because it's St. Patrick's Day at an Irish bar in Spain. It was actually a good time. But I was watching games for the most time until the end. And then I got back, I had a couple, not going to lie. I had a couple. And I walk into this apartment. It's probably, midnight maybe, 11, 12, solo traveling. And I walk in, this family, this trio and the dog are watching a Spanish sitcom in the living room. What do? I go in and sit down with them, and I watched the Spanish sitcom with them for about 40 minutes. And whenever they laughed, I laughed. I didn't know what the hell was going on in the show. Not bad. And then I just read, buenos dias or buenas noches, and then I go to the bath. I go to bed. I go to sleep, and then I go travel the next day. How about
I
that?
just imagine you sitting crisscross applesauce with the Nothing lighting the room except for the illumination of the TV.
It was dark. That's exactly what it was. It was. I didn't slip Chris Ross. I got a spot in the couch.
Okay.
But it was dark as hell in that apartment, and the TV was the only thing lit up. How about that? Me and that Spanish family watching. Gosh, I couldn't tell you what it was, but it was funny because it had a lot of physical comedy, so I was able to laugh at that stuff. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, but that was my little experience with Airbnb is in somebody's house, and they were completely fine with it. And then he left a review. It was translated to English. They said, nice guy, did his job, no problem. And I stayed in Airbnb in Colorado when I did the Ironman. That was in some guy's basement, and they had no door or anything, so you could just go upstairs. And again, that was no problem either. We met them. They gave us like coffee in the morning, no problem. It was nice.
My girlfriend's a big fan of a certain Spanish sitcom. That's her her first language is Spanish, and she watches it sometimes with the VPN on the TV. So it probably was the one that she watches, but I cannot.
You're gonna have to get me that name. You're gonna have to get me that link and text me because I will know once I see the characters. I'll know if that's the show. How about that? We'll do a little 5 at 5 on the opposite side. That's Christian Cat, Colin Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia. Celebrate big during the Freedom Sale at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Get incentives up to $11,000 off MSRP on select new Kias. Drive a 2024 Kia Telluride for just $38,998, or lease a 2025 Kia K4, only $199 a month for 24 months, $34.99 due at signing, 0 security deposit. Plus, make no payments till fall. We'll take any trade, push it, pull it, drag it, and get up to $6,000 over KBB value towards any red tag Kia. Only at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800 New Kias or visit GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
With approved credit through KFA. Stock number SG005991. MSRP $45,235. 10,000 miles a year. Plus tax tag $999 admin fee. Payments deferred 90 days. Interest accrues. Includes all factory rebates. Offers don't combine. Expires 8/15/25.
It's time to be on the lookout because hurricane season and summer temperatures have both officially arrived in South Florida. In order to ensure that your home stays cool during the summer storms, it's important to protect your AC unit from power surges. During hurricanes and large storms, turn off power to your AC at the breaker. And before the storms arrive, consider having additional surge protection added to your AC unit. John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing is offering $500 off new installs and convenient financing options with monthly payments starting as low as $92. John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing have been proudly serving Palm Beach County since 1960. You can visit CassidyAC.com for more information. Ask about the Cassidy Care Club maintenance program that offers year-round peace of mind with regular maintenance as well as
well as discounts on services and priority scheduling. 90% of system breakdowns on units less than 10 years old could have been prevented had the unit been regularly and properly maintained by a professional. That's the type of thing you need to know as the summer months are here in South Florida. Make sure John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has you covered. Visit CassidyAC.com for more information today.
Hey, you ready for a stress-free move? Choose Safebound Moving and Storage, Florida's #1 movers. With a solid reputation, we set the standard for excellence. Trust us for local, long-distance, commercial, or luxury moves. We offer over 200,000 square feet of secure storage. We handle everything, so you don't have to. Your possessions will be treated like our own, always in perfect condition. Visit SafeboundMoving.com for a free quote. Safe with Safebound. Your move matters.
I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Post-trade deadline, do you have a good feeling about today's game? You could turn your predictions into an epic payday over on Hard Rock Bet. New customers on Hard Rock Bet get $150 in bonus bets instantly after placing just a $5 bet. Bet 5, get $150 in your account right away. Sign up today. Baseball's in full swing. Hard Rock Bet's the best place to get every pitch in, strikeout, home run, all in the palm of your hand. You're waiting for football? Go take advantage of the futures now, because now who knows who's going to get Micah Parsons? Who knows if it's going to be the Los Angeles Chargers, if it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Place these futures today, because I know I love my win totals, and you can take advantage today and place some fun win total bets. Even if you don't even know what to bet, you could go bet on the Discover page, see what other users put together, see what the other users are betting in terms of parlays, utilizing profit boosts, and you can tap in, tag along. That's how easy it is. Step into the cage and bet like a champion for every big fight. Make your picks pack a more powerful punch on Hard Rock Bet with 19% profit boosts for the 319 fights, which are coming up this weekend. How about that? Table tennis, they got basically any sport you can think of. Hard Rock Bet has it. Go try it now and cash in a big parlay. Somebody last month, $10 parlay for $20,000. How about that? Player on Hard Rock Bet did that. You could do the same. Try it now. It's Hard Rock Bet. Download it today on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus. Physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. Considered by Camley. Call 1-888-MINUTE. Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Let's bounce around a little bit. Let's do a little 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Well, there are many things to be anticipating in the upcoming NFL season. Maybe some people out there were anticipating the Hall of Fame game. Those are familiar uniforms. That's a football field. That resembles the sport of football.
Yeah, enough.
But I think what a lot of people are anticipating even more are year 2 of Caleb Williams. New coach, new OC, couple of new weapons. A lot of pressure for Caleb Williams? Well, Williams says no. Caleb Williams said, quote, to Courtney Cronin on ESPN, "Pressure's not a thing for me. I don't think of it that way. It's not my job to care what the outside noise is and things like that. My job is to take care of everything in here and go out there and play. Should there be an immense amount of pressure on Caleb Williams, or is this another retry at year 1?
Good way to put it. I would say this is closer to a year 2 than a retry at year 1. Year 1 was not a wash. They had a good start to the year. He got sacked 100 times. Similar to Burrow, he sort of saw the worst of it, and he got out scot-free. He didn't get hurt. He saw the worst of it. Now this is only going to get better for him. I think Caleb Williams is actually going to have a good year. I don't know if he's going to have a great year. This might be a 2 or 3 year thing. Is the immense pressure part. He doesn't need to put it all together this year. They're not trying to win the Super Bowl this year. They're trying to see steps forward. If they can make the playoffs, everybody's rejoicing in Chicago if this team makes the playoffs. Not if they win the Super Bowl, making the playoffs. Once you do that, you sort of get that hair on your chest. Then a year down the line is when you really start to try to capitalize before you got to pay Caleb Williams and you try to capitalize on a window. That's my thinking. Yes, there's pressure to see steps forward, but the more the pressure's on the coach than the quarterback at the moment.
Number 2.
Let's go to baseball. Had a pretty eventful week for baseball. Think about how it started with Rob Manfred versus Bryce Harper. The details got out about a nose-to-nose confrontation, expletives spewed out of one of the faces of baseball, and Bryce Harper directed directly to the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. It's a pretty big deal, right? Well, no. Rob Manfred says no. He said, quote, "I think more has been made out of this situation than needs to be made out of it." Bryce expressed his views. At the end of our meeting, we shook hands and went our separate ways. It's not all that significant. Are you buying it, or is Manfred trying to save face here?
I mean, if you say get the F out of our clubhouse and you follow it up, if you're Rob Manfred, and say, I'm not going to get the F out of here, we got to talk about this. If you could somehow kind of descend that situation, diffuse that situation is what I'm looking for. Diffuse that to a handshake and a move our separate ways moment, I'd be surprised. Is this a little bit of damage control? Probably, because the PR is not good surrounding it. This looks bad for the relationship between the owners and the players, and this looks, I think Manfred look good, but it makes the relationship look bad. And that's the whole reason why Manfred was doing that 30-team visit when he goes to the clubhouse and talks about a variety of issues. He's trying to improve the relationship between the players and the owners and himself. And the fact that if he was disagreeing with Bryce Harper, that just doesn't look good in the eyes of a player. It doesn't look good in the eyes of the fan, because he's trying to make that relationship better, not worse. So I think that's probably the safest thing he could have said. Do I buy it? That's definitely not how it went down. It was not as civil as Rob Manfred made it to be.
Number 3.
How about a little pit stop at the 5 at 5 to the NBA? Pretty quiet right now. No little details or leakage of LeBron James news. But in the Big Apple, how about a 4-year, $150 million extension to forward Mikal Bridges? That's what happened, reported by ESPN's Sham Charania. And the Knicks now have 4 members of their starting core locked down through at least the 2027-2028 season. That's Bridges, who just got that 4-year deal. That's Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and OG Anunoby. Are the Knicks going to be perennial contenders with that core for the longest they have them?
You know, the thing is, I don't love the idea of Josh Hart is not somebody that should be a lockdown fixture of that starting lineup. But this is why Jalen Brunson took that pay cut. He took that pay cut so you didn't have trouble trying to re-sign Mikal Bridges. Now, Bridges taking a smidge under his max contract possibility. He gets his money. You got to be pleased about that. Is he worth the $40 million? Probably not. But this is why Jalen Brunson did it. Team player. Try to keep your guys together. This is the way to do it. So will they be in the mix every single year? Yes, because they got defense that travels and they got star power that's locked down. But they got to figure out if Mike Brown is going to be the future head coach, and if he's going to be able to put together a good run this year, because they got to capitalize. I said to capitalize 100 times today. They got to take advantage of a weak Eastern Conference. Will they be there every year? Yes, just off of how bad the Eastern Conference actually is.
Number 4.
How about this report from Cleveland? Back to baseball. Zach Meisel reports that the 2 pitchers that have been wrapped up in under investigation for suspicious gambling practices related to maybe manipulating what they are doing on the mound, throwing a ball on purpose in order to make sure a bet did hit. That's Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. Those 2 players on the Guardians, well, their lockers have been cleared out of the clubhouse. Colin, what should be the punishment for these 2 pitchers if it deemed that they are guilty?
Yeah, life suspension. If Pete Rose had to deal with it, these guys do too. And Pete Rose did it for his team winning, not for something negative on the field, allegedly. And Pete Rose did it as a manager, not as a player. Suspended for your life. I'd be surprised if those guys ever put on an MLB uniform again. This is an ugly exit. You're just going to clear out their lockers and sort of just let it sounds like the Guardians know. They're not clearing out the lockers if he's supposed to come back in 4 weeks and they think he's innocent. They do this because they think he's guilty, or they know he's guilty. Worse off. I'd be surprised if those guys put an MLB uniform ever again. they're going to be playing with Trevor Bauer in the Mexico League. All it does, though, every time I think about this situation, is it circles back to the Shohei Ohtani situation where they opened the book and closed it in 36 hours, and then all of a sudden everything that went wrong was because of his translator, and they threw him under the jail, and Shohei Ohtani's starting on Sunday. It just makes you think. It makes you think. I really, the level of investigation that went on there versus what really went down. So other than that, though, these guys should never put an MLB uniform on again. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, who would want to play with the guy that's doing that?
Not only from a player's perspective, but for principle. You set the principle. All right, Pete Rose can't get in. These guys can't get in. You want to crack down on gambling? Ban them for life. See ya. Goodbye. Especially if it's something negative on the field like that. It's not even about the outcome of a game. It's about their specific, not point shaving, but it's their specific performance that they're betting on.
Yeah, that's really irredeemable. And if it's not them betting on it, they are doing it for somebody else for some other ulterior motives. Eventually, it's looping back to them in one way, shape, or form. Pretty bad look there from the Guardians' arms. Yeah, I couldn't imagine playing with the guy who's doing that. I loop back to that. Like, how do you, once you get your locker cleat out, that's it.
You're never coming back to Cleveland.
No.
You can't.
You don't move back in.
Yeah, you can't move back in. You're out. You're out. You were evicted.
Number 5.
Well, the big news of the day in the NFL, the drama, the soap opera continues. The latest twist and the latest turn, Micah Parsons speaks out. He has requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys because he simply doesn't want to play there anymore. How shocking would it be if Micah Parsons is actually traded before the season begins?
Reading Parsons' perspective when he released it on Twitter a couple hours ago, you get the sense that he's not coming back. But then you remember the Cowboys like to pay at the last possible moment, and money talks. Ask Myles Garrett, who Myles Garrett left for valor and legacy reasons, or wanted to leave Cleveland for those reasons. Money got him to shut up. Micah Parsons is leaving because his agent can't get a hold of Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. If they pick up the phone and say, hey, here's your $145 million guaranteed, and here's your $40 million a year contract, I'd imagine he's going to accept that. But if he actually gets traded, I can't imagine it wouldn't be for anything less than an absolute haul. 26-year-old who is a perennial All-Pro, Pro Bowl player, who's young, available, rarely gets hurt. This is a no-brainer if you're another team who's looking to become great. But I still think the Cowboys are going to balk, give him the money he wants, and all parties are going to be happy by the time Week 1 comes around. That's my prediction.
That's a 5 and 5. Hey, quick shout out to the Chop Shop on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. Big Russo and Rizzo listeners.
And I'm sure big New York fans, I'm sure they're happy whether it's the Yankees or the Mets. They got to be happy about either side. So shout out to the Chop Shop guys indeed. I'm sure they're a big fan of what happened yesterday on the Yankees and or the Mets. And a big shout out to them for listening to the program. We appreciate that. Christian Cat, Colin Russo, let's make a couple bets. Speaking of capitalizing on some deadline stuff, why don't we bounce around? Let's blitz the book with Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Blitz the book, Hard Rock Bet, ESPN 106.3. Christian and I will put together a little bit of a parlay that sends us off into the weekend. Christian, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do strictly MLB here? Do you want to put together a little WNBA? Do you have a table tennis bet that you wanted to put together? What do you have here?
I've got a trick up my sleeve, but I would like to start with Major League Baseball.
All right, so what I did, and I took a couple picks today, is I liked betting against the teams that sold. And what
Morale's down, your buddies shipped across the country. Okay.
I just was sign me up for that. One of them was Milwaukee Brewers playing the Washington Nationals, who shipped out a couple key pieces. Minus 150 for Milwaukee if you want to touch that, or if you want to do the run spread, it's minus 1.5. One of the better teams in baseball. They're hot at the moment. See, the problem is I wanted to take whoever's playing Minnesota because it's literally going to be a brand new lineup, but they're playing Cleveland, and Cleveland shipped out a bunch of guys. We could take that if you want. Cleveland's favored against Minnesota at home. But there's another one there. And the last one I liked was the Arizona Diamondbacks playing the Oakland A's. Oakland A's are playing a little bit better. Still the last team in their division. But I would like them to beat Arizona tonight after shipping out Merrill Kelly, shipping out Eugenio Suarez, shipping out Josh Naylor, shipped out everybody that they possibly had of value on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'd be into taking the A's tonight, and I definitely would be into taking Milwaukee tonight.
I'm good with both.
All right, let's take Milwaukee. You want to do run spread, get plus 105, or winner to get minus 150? I don't like the minus 150. Not great odds there.
I think when you're building a parlay, though, you're kind of okay
Your
with
odds
that.
stack. All right, fine with that. Let's do it to win straight up. I'll take the A's and the Brewers both to win. We're at plus 195. Do you want to add something else that you get your eyes on?
I'm looking at handball.
You're at handball. All right, let me give you one baseball pick, and then we're gonna go to handball.
Yeah, I've been expired with ESPN The Ocho. Getting outside of our comfort zone. Not just football, not just baseball. Let's expand our horizons.
All right, how about this? I'll take something in the Mets-San Francisco game because they made a couple trades as well. Over-under on the run total is 7.5. I'm going to root for some for some runs to be scored. I like the Mets kind of depleted. I should phrase this properly. The Giants depleted their entire bullpen. They shipped everybody out. They got a couple guys input, but the Mets, on the other hand, their offense is playing better. Watch them really go after that different bullpen look for the San Francisco Giants. Let's do the over 7.5 San Francisco Mets tonight at Citi Field. You like that?
Do it.
Let's do it. All right, handball. What do you got for us?
Looking at some club-friendly games in Norway.
All right, so what do I even look up for this league? I don't even
Go to all leagues on Hard Rock Bet, and then it's alphabetical order. So you go to handball, club-friendly games. You can't miss it. Tomorrow, 6 a.m., I'm going to be awake. I'm going to be driving.
Sandford out
of Norway. They're going to beat Honoreds HK. Sandefjord, plus 110. I love that Norwegian handball team. They're going to take it to the Honoreds.
All right, so we got Sandefjord to beat the Honoreds. This is in Norway, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
Honoreds, is that a city in Norway?
I don't think so. This is a friendly.
Honoreds they're based in Sweden, in Gothenburg, Sweden. How about that? 60 teams are organized in this club. How about that?
I didn't want to touch the German juggernaut that is Wetzlar. That's in the other matchup that's going to happen simultaneously. Wetzlar versus Coburg 2000.
Wow. All right, and Sandefjord is a municipality in Norway. So you got one place that's based in Sweden and then Norway. This place is beautiful, Christian.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of this place. Wow.
They don't have to worry about bad weather. They worry about handball and kicking butt, even if it's just a club-friendly game.
Christian, this place is beautiful. Wow. Sandefjord, good pick on your part. I like this. All right, plus 1,000 there. So we got Sandefjord to win.
Or plus 110.
Plus 110 to win straight up against the Honoreds HK in Norwegian handball. We got the over 7.5 runs. Giants at Mets today at Citi Field. We have Diamondbacks at Athletics. I like the Athletics to win straight up. And the Brewers to win straight up at the Nationals tonight. Betting against sellers. I like it. Take the parlay if you'd like on Hard Rock Bet. It's plus 1,000. So bet $5, get 60 in return if we hit. We like that. We like those odds. There's our Blitz the Book presented by Hard Rock Bet. Sandefjord. Now, I was thinking about going to Norway next year. I got to make a stop in Sandefjord. How about that?
What is Norway known for again?
The fjords. The fjord, it's a mountain region.
Okay. And Sandefjord.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a part of it. It says fjord in it. Yeah, maybe. But it didn't look like a very mountainous region in there. But it's cold. But in the summer, it's got these northern lights. It's the north part of the world. And they got cool people, nice people. Oslo's a big city there. But you go there for the scenery, the landscape.
Gotcha.
It's on the list. I'm not sure if I'll do it, but it's on the list. Maybe I'll go to Sandefjord. That's Christian Katz, Colin Russo. We'll close out the program on the flip side. Stick around, Russo and Rizzo on a Friday edition, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Shout, I know you be hearing this and that from here and there, but please trust and believe, little mama. I see you gon' ride for me, so I'ma die for you. Is you with me? I got your back. But let's get it.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Interested in making money? Put $5 into the Hard Rock Bet app and get $150 in bonus bets almost immediately. That's right. You heard that right. $5 and get $150 in bonus bets immediately over on the Hard Rock Bet app. Go download today on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. You've been waiting for football. Now you can bet the preseason even like it's the real thing. You want to get into the Hall of Fame game last night. You were in on the Chargers. You can bet winners, point spreads, over-unders, and more. If you're into the preseason, you trying to get into it, go bet a couple games on the Hard Rock Bet app. I imagine that's got to be so much fun. Have you checked out the 100 on Hard Rock Bet yet? They're dropping pre-built parlays that are boosted up to 500% right on your home screen. And one Florida bettor utilized this, turned a $25 boosted parlay into a $2,700 win. Did that on the Hard Rock Bet app. Go get started today. Go download in the Google Play Store. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. Consider by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT. Christian, we're going to have very different weekends. You're going to have a weekend where you're basically on the road the entire time. Going to Nashville tomorrow, stopping on your way to Chicago to move your girlfriend up there.
Yeah.
And you're spending the entire week in Chicago. And I didn't ask you this yesterday. Are you going to a Cubs game?
We looked at the schedule, and I think we can make one swing. I'm going to have Thursday off from work. I'm going to have Friday off from work. And Live Golf is actually going to be in town. So I might have to make a decision to go to Live Golf Chicago or go to a Cubs game. And I'm thinking, if my girlfriend's living in Chicago,
you could always go to a Cubs game.
Opportunities will pop up, especially because you do want.
And the Cubs don't play on Thursday either.
They don't?
No, they play on Friday. And they're on the road. So you didn't check that far into it.
No. Because that was one of the things we wanted to do.
You can go see the White Sox.
Yeah.
You don't need to go see the White Sox.
I don't think I do.
No? 40 and 69.
Actually, you know what? I can see the Cubs versus Reds on Monday night.
Okay, that's this weekend. Okay, I thought you were talking about next weekend. Okay. Yeah, you could go see that. And the White Sox are home against the Tigers throughout the week. You can go see actually a good team there. They're on the road and during the weekend.
I think I'm more worried about the cheapest ticket I can get. Divisional foe. Reds aren't that good, are they? Yeah.
All right.
Wait a second.
I was wrong.
Night games at,
I was wrong. The White Sox are on the road this week. They're at home the following. All right, so you're screwed there. You can't get a White Sox ticket. And if you want to go play the Cubs, yeah, they get the Orioles throughout the weekend, but you're not going to be there in time. Then they get the Reds. Yeah, you got to go to a Reds game. Go to a Reds game.
I think Monday Cubs, Reds, 8 o'clock. Got my name written all over it.
Yeah, that's 7 o'clock local time. You'll be done. What time will you be done?
Probably at 9:30.
Yeah. Okay. That's doable. That's what you do.
Yeah.
All right.
Today I have off from work that day too.
On Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You go to that Cubs game. Cubs Reds Monday night, 8:05 Eastern time. So it'll be 7:05 local time.
I still haven't booked my hotel for Nashville.
Yeah, you got some work to do. You can do that in the car.
There is a website that gives you like deals and won't tell you what hotel you're booking. They'll tell you it has this amount of star rating. Reviews are this good about it.
What are you talking about? What, does it just give you an address?
Yeah. Or no, you book it and then they tell you your address. They give you kind of a radius, like it's in this quarter-mile area.
Are you kidding me?
I did this when I went to Live Golf Miami. I got a spot in, yeah.
And it worked.
It was nice.
Wow.
And they shave off like 20% of the price because you're buying it blind.
Is that like why? How does they're a broker? How does the broker get a good deal on that when they know that it's blind? Like, what's the sell there? You know,
I'm really not sure.
There's no finder's fee, is there? I don't understand.
Yeah, these places like the Trivagos and the Hotels.com, they get some cash.
Wow.
These are unsold rooms, and you get them.
Yeah, they just go blind, but they can't tell you. I don't know.
It's a risk you run.
It's like that app, Too Good to Go. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I've invented this, my friend.
Right. So yeah, I've dabbled in myself, and it's great. But it's one of the. It's like imagine if hey, there's a food place, and what Too Good to Go is for people who don't know is you can go on the app. I'll plug it, whatever. And places that have expiring food, pre-made stuff at Whole Foods, pre-made stuff, bagel shop here, coffee shop there that has, bagels that are going bad in like the next day or two and they don't think they'll be able to sell it. They'll put it together in a little bag and you could buy it for, pennies on the dollar comparatively. And imagine that, but they didn't tell you where or what you were getting. Now, they don't tell you what you're getting on Too Good to Go, but you at least know what's going to happen. You at least know that this is a pre-made food bag or this is a bagel bag. It's like going, all right, there's a place in a mile radius here. You're going to get a bag of food. And once you get to the mile radius, we'll tell you where to go. And then you show up, and then there's going to be a random bag of food.
Follow these green arrows.
Follow these green arrows. Here's a ping on Find My iPhone. And you got to follow that to go get your food. That's what you're doing at the hotel. That's a little bizarre.
I feel like you're doing Too Good to Go a little wrong. There's like those build-your-own burrito bowl type places or build-your-own salads.
Oh.
They're on those too, and I get those, and they just, whatever they've got a surplus of before they close, they'll load them up that way.
Interesting. All right, I have not tried that. I've only done the pre-made stuff.
Yeah, the bagels and the donuts make sense because they always throw that stuff in the garbage at the end of the night anyway.
Right.
That's what I used to do after baseball workouts. We knew someone that worked at a popular donut chain.
And they get rid of those. When there are people at donut shops, they get rid of them. They dump hundreds a day. And it's very bizarre because they don't want to serve them bad, but they don't sell as much as they make.
Yeah, so we'd pull up after baseball workouts, all six of us in a big SUV. Hey, Brianna, how's it going? Chop it up at the drive-thru, and she would hook all of us up with a large coffee and like 4 boxes of donuts.
It really is a shame when if you really knew the amount that these restaurants get rid of.
Food waste is tough.
Oh, the food waste is a lot.
Especially like the fine dining places because they only take the perfect part of a piece of meat or the perfect part of any seafood or anything like that.
Right.
The rest just right in the garbage.
Or more importantly, if they do it wrong and they dump it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't put it in the dog food bowl. No, they dump it. You're right. That's fine dining. And there's also places that makes food in surplus. And if they don't sell it by the end of the night, they can't serve it the next day because it'll be stale. They have nowhere to store it, so they dump it. It's very weird. It is a lot of wasteful. That's why Too Good to Go is a good business plan. It's a good business model. I didn't realize you could do the burrito spot, and they're going to be like, here's a random burrito.
Yeah.
And do they tell you what's in it, or do you just take a bite and then you figure it out after that?
They tell you what's in it. It's like I've written on the receipt on the side.
Okay.
And the places that do it are kind of excited to do that because it's almost like a freestyle. Like, you know what? You're going to have carnitas
that's
today.
why I can't work at a place like that. If I had free reign to load up somebody's burrito with whatever I wanted, I'd just put 3 pounds of lettuce and then roll it up in a
you punish him for being cheap?
Yeah,
you'll have anything,
it's the Christian, you're at the end of your shift. You've had a long 8 hours, and this guy asks for a random burrito for $3. Christian, you're loading it up with a load of crap as well.
The thing is, you got to be the person that hands it to this unsuspecting Too Good to Go employee. Like, enjoy 2 pounds of lettuce and some vinaigrette, pal.
They signed the papers. Yeah. You guys signed the papers. It's like the end of the story. You set me up. No, you signed the papers. I don't know what you screw them over.
I've had good experiences with Too Good to Go.
Okay.
Me and my girlfriend have same type of. We never did the bagel stuff. I don't think places around it.
Have you? I've done Whole Foods before, and that's actually
Really?
nice. You could get lucky there. Yes.
So what do they do there? Like
they have pre-made stuff. You know, you get the pre-made stuff down the aisles, or hot or cold, and sandwiches and stuff like that. They'll just get rid of them, and then you can get lucky. You could get like a piece of pie, and then a sandwich, and then a salad.
Oh, so it truly is a mixed bag. You're into a grocery store.
Yeah, it's a grocery store. So you have no idea what you. Some people get unlucky, but some people do get
hit the jackpot with a $1 rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, sometimes you get a slice. Yeah, you get a slice of pizza. You're like, oh my god, look at this. Are you kidding me? And sometimes you get like 3 salads that the least appetizing. The reason they didn't sell on the shelves. You're like, whatever. So. Yeah, that's the fun of it, though. I guess that's the fun of the hotel buying where you don't know where you're going to stay. This could be the most rundown place we've ever seen.
Man, traveling with dogs is tough. They hide these pet fees in the darndest of places. Like when you search for the hotel, they'll say it's pet friendly, and you got to scroll. You got to the direct website to the actual pet policy. These dudes are charging $75 a pet a night.
Really?
Yes.
I've never stayed with a pet in a hotel. It's that expensive?
Nowadays it is.
Oh my God.
Like I am trying to fine-tooth comb to find somewhere where it's at least like $25 a pet.
So this is like a given. There's no hotels that just have it included?
I think the really crappy ones do. There are some crappy ones that say, bring your pets, bring us you're tired, you're worthless.
Bring us your pets, is your extended family if they want to come. Bring anybody you want. Bring friends, family.
We'll leave the light on for you.
We'll leave the light on. There's going to be nobody at the desk. You got to go. Dude, here's the code. Wow. How about that? I'm interested in that experience for you.
I try to do this with one of those places that is pets included. And when I went to the AEW wrestling pay-per-view in Orlando, I tried to pinch some pennies, try to save some money.
So you went to a cheap spot.
And it was a place that's pets are included. We brought the dogs with us. So many roaches. Roach motel.
Wow.
Yeah.
For ground
terrifying.
Floor? Ground floor?
Second floor motel. We took the dogs and we got out of there.
Wow, so you got a place in the middle of the night. It was that bad?
We drove to West Palm. We drove 2.5 hours. Left at 1 a.m., got back at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah, I guess, there's no point in getting a hotel. Yeah, we're getting out of here. Oh, my God, that's gnarly. You got to make sure there's no roaches with you and everything like that.
We had to spray down all of our stuff. You try to outsmart the system, and you get bit.
That's what you get
It was karma for leaving our dogs in this hotel. You're not supposed to leave your dogs there by themselves, by the way. Pet-friendly motels and hotels. Yeah, you bring your dog, but you got to stay your ass there.
Yeah. You can't surprise a maid with, 2 fully grown, Dobermans trying to maul you.
Oh, my God, dude.
You can't do that.
These roaches are jump scares.
Wow, okay. And your dog shed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So your dogs are a mess.
We get our money's worth.
If I was renting a hotel, your dogs wouldn't be allowed in my hotel either. How about that? Jeez. Christian Cat, of course, Colin Russo. Closing out a Friday edition. Stay tuned for some weekend programming. You got ESPN West Palm High School game day coming up right after this. You could also listen to Sunday Huddle, which is coming up on Sunday, 10 a.m., a 2-hour edition with myself and Kate Chumsden. Do a little NFL preview, take our overs and unders. Looking forward to that. Big thanks to Christian keeping us up over the air. Appreciate having everybody aboard for the last 2 hours. We'll be back at it next week with regularly scheduled programming and Mike Rizzo live and in person. So stay tuned for that. If you missed any of the program today, go to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Go listen to Russo and Rizzo. Search up Russo and Rizzo there to see full shows. Colin Russo saying so long. Enjoy the weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay focused. Enjoy that first weekend of August on ESPN 106.3.
Calling all sports fans.